Hello everyone, I'm Noble and welcome back to the channel. There is a growing conversation online about identity and history. And one thing needs to be made clear, black Americans are not immigrants to America. Black Americans do not choose to come here the way immigrants. Their ancestors were forcibly brought here generations ago, and their labor, culture and resistance helped build this community. At the same time, it's important to understand that Americans have many groups with deep historical roots, including Native American, whose presence goes back thousands of years. So when people try to label Black Americans as immigrants, many push back because that label doesn't reflect the full history. The Black American experience is foundational to the story of the United States. This conversation isn't about excluding others, it's about acknowledging history correctly.
And so if you say that you don't care about black immigrant struggle, that means you don't care about your own struggle. Who said that? If you're like me, the descendant of slaves, you might call yourself FBA, you are an immigrant. We are immigrants. Black people are immigrants in this country because we are not indigenous to this land. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna keep saying it.
What's going on? Y'all are going to jail. Period.
When I say literacy and comprehension are at an all-time low in America and it's a severe crisis, it's videos like this that prove to me that it's true. There's a single definition of what it means to be an immigrant in any nation. And by all definitions, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, original descendants of slaves, descendants of those who were trafficked to America, could never and are never immigrants in this country. The current iteration of America, which is the only iteration of America, did not exist before Europeans came here and created a settler colony. America is a settler colony which trafficked individuals from Africa, brought them here, also killed off the original inhabitants and created a new nation. Those who were trafficked did not have a choice when they came to this nation. They were forcibly brought here, ergo making this their new home over the last half of millennia. America has been a nation that has become one of the richest nations in the world off the backs of these people that were trafficked here and who had no choice but to work for free. No one decided to come here on their own volition. The definition of an immigrant is someone who comes to live in a foreign country by their own volition, by their choice. America wasn't even a nation state of America when the settler colony of America was founded and was stolen from the indigenous people. For your definition of your understanding of what it means to be an immigrant is not only wrong, it's adding to the confusion of the already overcomplicated identity of what it means to be American from different places in the world. But if there's one thing for certain and two things for true, African Americans, Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, those who are descendants of slaves in this country could never be immigrants in their own country.
Let me make the distinction or the delineation. I'm a foundational Black American. My mama Black, my daddy Black. I did not come from any place other than here. I don't go to Jamaica and speak on what's happening in the grill. I do not go to Ghana and speak what's happening in Ghana. I do not go to Nigeria and talk about what's happening in Lagos because it's none of my business. It is not my place. When you come over here from the Caribbean, from Africa, from South America, whichever type of Black that you are, you get an immigrant experience. You do not have 400 years of chattel slavery hanging over your head. You do not know anything about Jim Crow, and you do not understand what is happening to us directly. You catch a little bit of an incident.
Like Black Americans are next. They really thought that Black Americans are immigrants. And that explains why they voted the way they voted. They tried to get us up out of here. But I got to say to the Latino community, not only did your ESL classes, but the American educational system failed you tremendously, because Black Americans are not immigrants and we're not going anywhere. And this is how ill-informed they are. They really think because they're in the middle between black and white that they're white adjacent, when that's far from the truth. It's only three categories that's broken down in this country. You have white Americans, you have non-whites, and you have Black Americans. The people in the middle, y'all just extras in this movie. The main characters are the white Americans and the Black Americans, and sometimes the Native Americans make a guest appearance. This country spent too much money trillions of dollars in painting black people as the bad guys. That's the default to even get rid of black Americans. As sad as that may sound. And you know who's catching on quick, who's learning the game real quick? Africans and Caribbeans. That's why they're cosplaying as black Americans. They're not cosplaying as black Americans to trick us black Americans. They're doing it to trick white Americans because they don't want to be deported.
Is the original American Indian, not African. Ancient hieroglyphs of civilizations in America prove black people been here. Fighting against invaders. The oldest bones found in America are of black people. Present-day black people still match the hieroglyphs found in ancient America. Ancient traditions and cultures are still carried by the black Indians of America. European thought it was funny to display the fight of the original people and the invaders. Don't forget, say the historian told you this.
I could make the argument that black people are the only true Americans, and not to minimize Native Americans, but they're native to the land that we call America. They're not Native American. They predate America. You can't be native to something that you predate. They are absolutely native to this land, but they're not Native Americans because they are not Americans. They've just been named that by America. You understand what I'm saying? But the only real cultural group that exists in America that has been born from America, of America, and in America, not culturally tied to another land before that, America, is black people. Every other cultural group immigrated to this land from somewhere else, and they brought their history and culture with them. African slaves were brought here, and their history and culture was erased for them, to where they had to birth and create an entirely new culture for themselves, often separated from their families, their children, anyone they knew, to be property of another human being. And out of that, they've born an entirely new identity, very specific and exclusive to this land, with no ties to any other landmass. No one else has had to do this in this country. And I think part of the reason that you have to call us African Americans is because you don't know what else to call us. We have no ties to Africa. You ask any black person anywhere in this country and they'll tell you they have no ties to Africa. They don't know no Africans. They don't know where they come from in Africa. And a handful of people who have done like a 23andMe to find out, they developed that as an adult. They didn't grow up with African traditions and customs. Shit, the closest we've ever seen is Kwanzaa. And most people still don't even know what the fuck that translates to. Black people are the true Americans, which is wildly ironic when you consider how this country treats us and how the immigrants, the European immigrants, even the black immigrants, the African, the Caribbean immigrants treat us is wild, considering that we are the true Americans. And that doesn't even count the fact that we fucking built this country. Black people are the last people on earth you need to be talking to about fucking what it means to be American.
It is an insult. We're the Native Americans here.
Instead of being called African American, what would you prefer?
Native American. Because we are the natives here. And they've gotten us to believe that we're from somewhere else.
How about the Indians, the native Indian? Do you regard them as natives too, or you're more native than them?
We're more native than them.
Interesting.
Americans are the original Americans. We are not descendants of enslaved people. We are the original people to this land. We are indigenous. We are the aboriginals. So it's time to remember who you are. The truth is coming back through genetic studies and memory. The more you dig into our true history, you discover that it has not only been whitewashed, but much of our history has been erased, not by time, but through paper, what historians call paper genocide. The 1887 Dawes Act was used to take our land, and it created colorism. The Dawes roll determined who was Indian enough, and if your skin was dark, you were reclassified as Negro, Black, colored. So the truth is coming back through genetic studies and through memory. So it is time to wake up and remember who you are.
Child, the foundational Black American story is one of the greatest ever told. Resistance, resilience, and reimagining. And baby, that's the gag. We didn't just survive. We authored that shit. We are the blueprint. Full stop. Now here's the problem. Folks love to play in our faces with that tired ass question, where are you from? No, really, where are you from? As if the word American only belongs to white people. Because for them to admit that we shaped this country through our own resistance and destiny, that would shatter the very foundation of their belief in white supremacy. Baby, that's why they come at us sideways. Because deep down, they can't fathom how we survived slavery, Jim Crow, and systemic oppression, and still created a culture that the whole world copies. That confusion turns into jealousy. That jealousy turns into disrespect. Let me be crystal clear. We don't need their validation. Black Americans are the blueprint because I'm American. My family is from North Carolina, mom and dad. And I can't tell you the number of times I get asked that dumbass question. Where are you from? No, really, where are you from? North Carolina, generations deep. Because I'm not about to do Olympic level ancestry to make somebody else feel comfortable. Ain't it funny how nobody asks white Americans where they're really from? But let a black American say I'm American, and somehow it's like the Wi-Fi cut out. The manufactured confusion. What they don't understand is our story is layered roots, European ancestry, not by choice, native connections, and it all converges right here in the United States of America. That's our reality. That's our identity. And that's exactly why some of them are jealous. They can't wrap their heads around how we carried and still carry the weight of oppression and still became the cultural heartbeats of this nation. Music, fashion, innovation, style, language, and I could go on, but I'm not. We set the tone every single damn time. So the next time someone tries to play in your face and say black folks have no culture, no values, here's the list, baby. Family, liberty, justice, God, creativity, and survival. Those are our values. That's our culture. We are who we say we are and who they wish they could be, but never will. We are American. Full stop. So here's my ask of you. Stop giving clout, likes, and comments to folks who make a living disrespecting us. Block them. Protect your peace. Because the Black American story is too sacred to let outsiders rewrite. Child, is too much. So drink your water. Stay rooted, real, and knowledgeable. And mind your black business. Happy Black History 365. And I'll see you.
Understanding identity matters. History matters. What's your take on this conversation? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.